बंदे को स्क्वीज किया जाता है और उसमें फिट किया जाता है।
Playing with like कटर 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 कटर
12 से 1 ये रगड़ेगा,
हाँ
1 से 2 ये रगड़ेगा।
I think overwhelmingly तो सीनियर से ज्यादा डर लगता है।
इतनी उसकी जिसकी बाज की टाइप आंखें हैं,
कर 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 करके नॉन स्टॉप यूरो।
ऐसे अमाउ हाजी एकेडमी में बहुत सारे हैं सर। गुड इवनिंग सर।
जय हिंद सुनील।
जय हिंद सर।
जय हिंद
सर। अक्सर एस्पिरेंट्स पूछते हैं कि जब उनका एसएसबी क्लियर हो जाता है, मेरिट में नाम आ जाता है एंड दे गो टू ओटीए और आईएमए, तो वहां की लाइफ कैसी होती है? सम ऑफ देम हैव अ फीलिंग कि जैसे ही आप ट्रेनिंग के लिए जाते हो एकेडमी में, तो वहां पे एक बड़ा सा ऑफिस मिलता है, आपको लैपटॉप मिलेगा, एक बड़ी सी चेयर मिलेगी, पूरा एक बड़ा सा पैराफर्नैलिया होगा जहां पे आपको एक बड़ी ऑफिसर लाइक फीलिंग होगी, राइट? So is it like that? Yeah, is it something different? So when you went to OTA, Officers Training Academy, तो आपकी क्या उम्मीदें थी कि ट्रेनिंग में क्या होने वाला है, and how did it turn out to be? What was the actual scenario like?
Oh, very interesting सुनील। क्या होता है अक्सर as soon as you get selected and recommended, then you feel you're already an officer. You know, you're normally floating in the bliss में ना कि आप ऑलरेडी ऑफिसर बन चुके हो एंड आप अपने दोस्तों से मिल रहे हो, अपने कॉलेज में से मिल रहे हो, then you are like, you know, sort of partying and all, and since I went to the OTA, I was already working in a multinational company that time, so I had my plum offers, as you said, कि एक सोफा था मेरा, खुद का एक कैबिन थी मेरी, and you know, coffee vending machine, all those things. So you also feel that कि since I'm already an officer, so all I have to do is to cadet बन के जाऊंगा वहाँ पे मैं, थोड़ी बहुत ट्रेनिंग हो गई, and then I have my stars. So only thing is missing is that is your uniform and your stars. You go with that kind of aspiration, वहाँ पे जाके मेरा बन जाएगा. So I must narrate this incident. So we were about 7 of us from Bangalore who had got recommended, and we were all going to OTA during the same time. So we went, did a shopping, trunks खरीदे हमने, जो शॉर्ट्स खरीदना होता है, शूज खरीदने होते हैं, जो लिस्ट आया था हमको सामान ले जाने के लिए, वो सबने खरीदारी करी. देन वी पेंटेड इट ऑन द ट्रंक्स के अपना नाम वगैरह. तो वी वर नॉट श्योर क्या लिखना, क्या है कि लेफ्टिनेंट लिखना है कि कैडेट लिखना है. सो इट वाज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. सो
यू फेल्ट लाइक कि अभी से लेफ्टिनेंट लिख दो.
हाँ, अभी से लेफ्टिनेंट लिख दो. इनफैक्ट मेरा जो फेयरवेल हुआ था पिछले कंपनी में, सो इन दैट जो फोटोग्राफ्स एंड दे वर ऑल आस्किंग, उसमें मैंने लेफ्टिनेंट लिखा हुआ था. So that is the thing what you normally carry on your shoulders already, that कि आप बन चुके हो. Then it so happened that we took a train and landed in Chennai. वहाँ पे देखा तो बहुत सारे लोग आए हुए थे, and all had carried that black colored trunk, if you recall. So and then we had those ustads coming in and then taking your nominal drone and taking your names and calling you, and then they put us in a bus. The best part is that when you put in a bus, you were asked to carry those trunks all by yourself, and we were not used to it. We thought now we are being officers. So हमने सोचा कि किसी वहां पे आएंगे, कोई someone come and help you, कोई पुलिस होंगे. यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं बोला, बोला कि ओके ये सामान उठाओ, उस फलाने ट्रक में डालो, ये नंबर है आपको, अंदर जाके बैठ जाओ. And by the time we reached academy, it was already late in the evening, and then we went. तो उससे पहले थोड़ा मैच फिक्सिंग भी हो जाता था हमारा, you know, अपने जो आपके साथ जो सेलेक्ट हुए हैं, प्लेस टाइप्स हो गए, एसएसबी टाइप्स हो गए, थोड़ा मैच फिक्सिंग हो जाता है कि हम सारे एक ही कंपनी में जाएंगे.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर.
There are few of us who knew something about academy. There are few of us who knew nothing about academy.
हाँ सर, जो फौजियों के बेटे होते हैं ना, उनको काफी पता होता है.
हाँ, आप या फिर आप ना
स्लाइटली अलाइंड एटलीस्ट.
हाँ, फौजियों का अगर आप बेटे हो या सेकंड जनरेशन थर्ड जनरेशन हो, या फिर आपका कोई फ्रेंड है जो पहले जा चुका है वहाँ पे, who is already an officer और सीनियर हो, तो कुछ तो इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल ही जाता है. तो वी ऑल वांटेड टू गो, एंड हमने क्या किया, जाके वो जो बोलते हैं ना कि थोड़ा स्मार्ट आर्ट कर लें, तो सारे एक साथ खड़े हो गए कि इस कंपनी में जाएंगे. सर वहां जाके पता चला कि एक को लेफ्ट कर दिया, एक को राइट कर दिया, एक को यहाँ, एंड देन यू रियलाइज दैट यू आर ऑल गोइंग टू डिफरेंट कंपनीज. सर एंड देन उसके बाद इट वाज ऑलरेडी अराउंड 8:30 इन द इवनिंग. देन दे सेड गो हैव योर डिनर. तो हम लोग गए, व्हाटएवर वी हैड वी एट इट, एंड वी वर टोल्ड कैरी योर बक्सास एंड देन गो टू सो एंड सो कंपनी. You know, I was allotted Kohima company.
Oh, so killer Kohimans.
हाँ, killer Kohima. So that time we don't even you don't even register, what company you've been given, because you go with some other name in your head, and all of a sudden you're given a Kohima, you was given Kohima company, and then we were had to walk. You didn't know whether to carry the baksha or to drag it, and finally you somehow make your way through to the company, and there you see that all the cadets are standing outside, all the my course mates, then first termers all standing outside, and already kuch to chal raha tha. So you're lost completely. So that was a beautiful experience that we had stepping into the academy. That is when you realize that the world in the academy is different to what you perceive outside.
Yes.
बहुत बहुत डिफरेंस है वहां पे ना सोफा है ना बैठने के चेयर है ना कॉफी वेंडिंग मशीन है वहां पे आपको बेसिकली कुछ नहीं मिलता वहां पे आपको सिर्फ इंस्ट्रक्शन मिलते हैं इंस्ट्रक्शन भी इट्स नॉट पोलाइट इंस्ट्रक्शंस नॉर्मली इट कम्स विद अ थंडर why are you doing this why are you standing there get here why you so that's how it starts off
तो सर अपनी जो ये ट्रेनिंग होती है राइट समटाइम्स आई वंडर राइट कि कैसे एक यंगस्टर उस हार्डली 20-21 इयर्स इनफैक्ट एनडीए में तो इट कुड बी एज गुड एज 16.5 to 17 इयर्स कैसे इतना एक यंग बच्चा उसको ट्रेनिंग मोल्ड कर देती है इनटू अ वेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबल ऑफिसर वो ना सिर्फ अपनी बल्कि लेट्स से एटलीस्ट 100 सोल्जर्स 100 के आसपास सोल्जर्स की जिंदगी और मौत का डिसीजन ले पाता है तो 1 साल की ट्रेनिंग ओटीए में ऐसा क्या कर देती है कि हम लोग जो है अपने जो टीम है उसकी लाइफ और डेथ का डिसीजन ले पाते हैं हाउ डज इट हैपन
it's very interesting to see how we get converted from a cadet to the turn of an officer. तो स्टार्टिंग में क्या होता है आपको कुछ पता नहीं चल रहा होता है आप कर क्या रहे हो वहां पे बिकॉज एवरीथिंग लुक्स लाइक दैट एवरीथिंग इज इंस्ट्रक्शन एवरीवन इज रनिंग यू आर गिवन अ टाइम आपके पास एक टाइम आता है फिर बताते हैं फलाना टाइम कहाँ पर जाना है क्या रिग पहनना आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा हो क्या रहा होता है इनिशियली बट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम मे बी 1 week 2 week लेटर पार्ट आपको थोड़ा थोड़ा यू स्टार्ट रियलाइजिंग दैट you come with a mission in your head that I want to serve the nation. And the process that they involve, everything is very systematic, right from your physical training to that of your drill, to that of your tactical classes, to that of your demonstrations, to the lectures, to that of sports. As a structure hota hai, all you have to do is go with the wave. And then go as per what has been told to you. Of course, there's a lot of rigor in terms of बहुत रगड़ा होता है वहां पे कि आप लॉस्ट ही रहते हो लेकिन आपको विदाउट इवन रियलाइजिंग देर ऑल मोल्डिंग यू स्लोली स्लोली एंड स्टेडीली एंड बाय द एंड ऑफ फर्स्ट टर्म यू रियलाइज दैट एक्चुअली समथिंग हैपनिंग विद यू एंड यू वोंट बिलीव दैट मोस्ट ऑफ अस who come from the civil world, when I say civil world, आप corporate में already काम कर रखे हैं, you're just 21 or 22, you already have a flavor of what is outside, and here you come all of a sudden the world changes कि आप within no time you fall in the bracket of a discipline, and when I say discipline it gives you such a sense of accomplishment after a period of time ना कि आप 6 महीने में इतना कुछ कर जाते हो. Like for instance आप physical का ले लो आप you are able to do a 2.4 kilometer run in a flat 8 to 9 minutes time. Exactly. Which is humanly impossible. You can't think that you are also capable of doing it. So, a lot of people, they're able to do 12 to 15 chin-ups in a flat 3-4 months time.
Exactly.
So it molds you, and then everything comes with a purpose and a mission there. वहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ चीज नहीं होता कि जहाँ पे आपको पर्पस नहीं होता ना मिशन होता वहाँ पे, चाहे आप वेपन ट्रेनिंग में चले जाओ.
सर आपने ये बोला ना अभी, सॉरी टू कट यू इन अ बिट, अभी वो आपने बोला चिनअप्स कर जाते हैं इतनी सारी, फिजिकली फिट हो जाते हैं विद इन 3 to 4 months. तो आई रिमेम्बर दिस वेरी क्लियरली कि हमें टेलर शॉप पे ले जाया गया, राइट, टू टेक आवर मेजरमेंट्स कि क्या साइज का इनको स्पोर्ट्स ड्रेस देना है. तो उसमें मेरा आई रिमेम्बर माय बडी हु वाज hefty fellow, close to 100 kgs of weight, right? I don't know उसको वो इतना weight उसने मेडिकल के बाद गैदर किया या उससे पहले ही हो गया था उसका इतना weight, right? But hefty fellow, he must be having a chest of 48 inch, right? And पंजाब का एकदम गबरू बंदा, right? So now this GC, gentleman cadet, he had a waist of some 36-38 sir. और हम वहाँ पे गए शॉप पे तो मेजरमेंट लेने लगे एंड इट वाज ऑब्वियसली फाउंड कि वो 36-38 कुछ साइज है. तो उसको शॉर्ट्स दिया ही नहीं, राइट। इनफैक्ट नॉट ओनली हिम, काफी ऐसे और कैडेट्स थे जिनको वापस कर दिया, जेंटलमैन कैडेट्स, कि आप लोग जाइए, अभी आपका साइज नहीं लेना है। सो वी केम बैक एंड वापस आके कि ये क्या है कि हमें तो स्पोर्ट्स ड्रेस मिला ही नहीं। सो देन वी गॉट टू नो द आंसर आफ्टर अ मंथ, बिकॉज एक महीने में सबकी वेस्ट या तो 29 साइज थी या 27, बिकॉज वहां पे शॉर्ट्स जो है वो दो ही साइज के हैं, 27 एंड 29, उससे ऊपर साइज जाएगा ही नहीं। तो बंदे को स्क्वीज किया जाता है और उसमें फिट किया जाता है।
Absolutely.
अनलाइक दिस सिविल वर्ल्ड जहां पे साइज बढ़ता है, यहाँ पे साइज सेम, बंदे को ट्रिम करके उसमें फिट कर दिया जाता है, राइट। सो दिस
Rightly.
दिस इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ आवर ट्रेनिंग।
Rightly put. I think, if I have to draw some lessons out of it, yeah, same thing. I being a Tamilian there, so मैंने सोचा कि वो टेलर शॉप में बता दूंगा कि मेरे ये वेस्ट का है, तो everyone ने one size fits all दे दिया. That is where they all bring together, है ना?
Exactly.
In fact, in the form of physical abilities, in terms of form of intellectual ability, in terms of practical abilities, आपको एक साथ लाना जरूरी है. That is what it is. So in lot many ways वो structure ऐसा कर चुके हैं. And you said civil wall में size बढ़ता है, यहाँ पे size हमारा भी size बढ़ता है, but character, for us the size is about the character that we all come together.
Exactly.
And,
Absolutely, sir.
That's where the difference is. कि in a flat 2 weeks you're wearing a 27 or 28 inch waist shorts pant. In fact वो भी lose होता है कभी कभार.
सर मेरे ही वाज माय बडी, उसका सर अभी भी इतना रह गया था एक महीने में, बट उसकी वेस्ट साइज इतनी हो गई।
Waist size इतनी हो जाती है. I know.
He is in Canada police now, hefty fellow, right? Short service officer, so left after 5 years, is in Canada police now. So he's an amazing example how army trains you, right?
Correct. And in fact, abhi if you pick your cadet days attires,
Sir.
and you'll laugh at yourself and say, how did you manage this?
Exactly, sir.
And then that in that short frame of time.
Exactly.
And एक pressure भी होता है ना, that you have to clear all your physicals at time. That is to be left behind.
Exactly.
कि आप अगर if you're not in shape, can't clear. Let's say आपके chin-ups हो गए या फिर आपके toe touches हो गए. This is such a critical physical examinations. तो आपको क्लियर करना ही करना होता है.
You are talking about physical test and getting into shape. तो इस पे एक छोटी सी चीज याद आती है कि एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड तरीके से डीएस होते हैं जो हमें ट्रेन करते हैं,
जी जी जी.
And on the other hand, we also have our seniors,
yes,
right, who also train us.
yes.
दोनों का टारगेट इज इट डिफरेंट और इज इट सेम? और आपको एकेडमी डेज में किससे ज्यादा डर लगता था सर, डीएस से कि सीनियर से? I'll tell you mine later.
I think overwhelmingly तो सीनियर से ज्यादा डर लगता था, क्योंकि उनके पास टाइम ही टाइम होता था. अनलाइक डीएस के पास जाओगे तो 40 मिनट्स के लेक्चर पीरियड में कितना रगड़ेंगे डीएस? 20 मिनट, 25 मिनट, 40 मिनट उन्होंने ब्रेक उसके बाद देना ही देना, क्योंकि आपने किसी और क्लास अटेंड करना है ना. लेकिन जो सीनियर होते हैं उनके पास द होल नाइट इज देयर विद देम, एंड पूरा दिन उनके पास पड़ा रहता है. एंड वहां पे डीएस एक होते हैं, या फिर उस्ताद 2-3 होंगे, या फिर हमारे जो डीएस हैं तो एक ही होंगे. यहाँ पे सीनियर्स होते हैं 40-50. तो दे कैन पिक एंड चूज करना क्या आप लोगों के साथ, कब क्या करना है.
रिले टीम बनती रहती है रात को, 12 से 1 ये रगड़ेगा, 1 से 2 ये रगड़ेगा, 2 से 3 तीसरा रगड़ेगा. जब जिसको नींद आती है सो जाता है, दूसरे को पैटर्न पकड़ा देता था.
दिस ब्रिंग्स एन इंटरेस्टिंग इंसिडेंट हुआ था हमारे साथ एक. तो हमारे जो वन ऑफ द अपॉइंटमेंट, सीनियर अपॉइंटमेंट्स थे, हम 2-3 लोगों को रात के लिए बुला दिया कि आप आओगे, आप नहीं, तुम लोग आओगे, एंड यू विल होल्ड द मच्छरदानी फॉर मी. And and next day I think we had a BPT or something, so we didn't know what to do. हमको थोड़ा सा सोना था, बोला कि यार BPT के वैसे ही प्रेशर होता है ना, कि that inertia, the pressure of कि कैसे क्लियर करेंगे, किस स्पेस में जाना वगैरह वगैरह होता है. And what we did is we wore that drill shoes जो जिस पे कील लगा होता है. We went there in the night, held them muscular like this, and we were playing with the leg, cutter. In 45 minutes, the senior was so annoyed. उसने बोला तुम लोग भागो यहाँ से, अगली बार कभी नहीं बोला ऐसा. So we had a way of doing it, but but senior से डर लगता था कि कभी भी बुला लो, कुछ भी करा लो. Right from उनके कपड़ों से लेकर, उनको जूतों से लेकर, उनको बेड से लेकर, अपने पास ही टाइम नहीं होता था, लेकिन उनका भी काम करो साथ में. and yeah, you will have a little bit few seniors ऐसे होते हैं कि you know you're a blue-eyed boy, but again postmates के साथ वो रह गए तो फिर then you're done. So,
Exactly, sir.
and they can make you do anything under the earth.
But there's a beautiful relation between the seniors and the juniors,
Yes.
and it is amplified through the relation of overstudy and understudy. So ये
Right.
overstudy और understudy की relation is amazing, नहीं sir? वहाँ पे?
Absolutely, and surprisingly, my overstudy was from Haryana,
Okay.
and my understudy also happens to be from Haryana.
Sir.
So, you know, so I was on the cusp, and I had a beautiful relationship with both of them. My senior, जो you know, now a Colonel Satveer Singh Kalkal, he would tell me, "क्या तू इतना ज्यादा क्यों करता है? अपने आप को देखभाल कर ले, इतना डेमो बनने की कोई जरूरत नहीं, you know, कि you don't have to be a studier, जितना जरूरी है सिर्फ डेमो टाइप नहीं करना, जितना जरूरी है उतना करो, उससे ज्यादा मत करो, क्योंकि अगर आपको कुछ इंजरी हो गया, you're the only one who will have to suffer this. No one can take care of you, क्योंकि इतना fast pace होता है हमारा. On similar lines, my junior also, Sarvaria, again from Haryana, was also such a blessing for me that he would take care of me when in my senior term. So relationship is for a lifetime there. What you build there is always for a lifetime, unlike any other place.
Exactly, sir. And OTA as it is, I think we are called Jhatka types.
Yes, we are called Jhatka types, but strong Jhatkas.
Strong Jhatkas.
Very strong Jhatkas in terms of character and abilities.
Exactly, sir. जो NDA 4 साल में सिखाता है, जो IMA ट्रेनिंग 1.5 साल में सिखाते हैं, वो OTA को 1 साल में करनी होती है.
1 साल में.
It is, I mean, I personally feel this is the toughest training academy.
No wonder why it's called the toughest training academy in the world. For a couple of reasons. One is the weather is also very hostile there. Exactly. God forbid if you join the academy sometime in the month of April. Sir. It's so sunny that within no time you're like.
I believe you joined in April only, sir.
Yes, we joined in April, and then flat a week's time, we were all like kebabs. Sir. We were like mobile kebabs all over the place. Sir. And you feel thirsty, so हाथ chile होते हैं, घुटने chile होते हैं, and that is where the spirit of accomplishment also comes. In spite of all the difficulty, you still went on to do it. That is where the whole lesson comes out of it, no? And in 10 months, we do everything what others do in maybe year and a half or 4.
That's why, sir, obviously, each academy of Indian Army is amazing. There's no doubt on that, right? Yes. But OTA is slightly destructive, I would say, rather than constructive. NDA में बड़ा slow pace पे एक constructive manner में cadet को जो है officer बनाया जाता है. Whereas the way I said, OTA is झटका entry, right? बड़े destructive program में एकदम से bullet speed पे cadets are say traveling, और उसमें जो हो गए and unfortunately जो रह जाते हैं, they either get relegated, and few of them unfortunately have to leave the academy also. Right. But then army that way is pretty ruthless. So only the best can survive. Yeah, it has to be ruthless, right? Irrespective of which academy you come, I think army, for the matter, all these services, tri-services, it just prepares you for the war, right? Exactly. So if in the preparation of a war, you can't go and say that I can't do this, I can't do that. So you have to prepare for any eventuality at any point in time. Exactly. So and OTA caters for a certain cadre of cadets who come there, and of course they have to be fit to fight a war at any point in time. It also caters, not just cadets, it builds you. It builds you, as you say, organically. काफी academies में तो time के वजह से तो organically build करने को मिल जाता है. But more or less we also at the same pace, कर ही लेते हैं. And that all starts with your aspiration to be a leader in the first place, your aspiration to serve the nation, the aspiration to be leading group of people, of men into the battlefield, and if willing, if there's a necessity, then you also have to sacrifice your life for the nation. So it comes with that. Sir, you left army way back, right? Yes. Suppose you get a chance, right? एक दिन में आपको आपके पुराने जितने भी CEOs हैं वो उनसे मिल सकते हो. On the other hand, same day आपको चांस मिलता है अपने ड्रिल उस्ताद और PT उस्ताद से मिलने का. तो what will you choose? The party of CEOs or meeting these ustads?
Is it not possible to choose both?
So that would be, let's say, the best case scenario. But now you have to make a tough decision, right?
Okay.
अब अपना क्या है सर, आर्मी में यही तो सिखाते हैं. It's always between the devil and the deep sea, or it is always between the best of two possibilities. It is never that both the things occur at the same time. दोनों अच्छी चीजें एक साथ नहीं मिलेंगी, दोनों बुरी भी एक साथ नहीं मिलेंगी. It's always about choice making. It's always about decision making.
Yeah, so this is very difficult to make a choice if you actually ask me here. But because I think as ustads and your TS, they are the ones who mold you from a normal cadet or a cadet who's got a certain capability to what they become as potentials. है ना कि आपको पॉलिश कर जाते हैं, आपको बेसिक्स आप इनकॉर्पोरेट कर जाते हैं कि आपके यहाँ पे राइट फ्रॉम मिडिल टू your tactical abilities to weapons to firing to physical abilities swimming tak and etiquettes of eating and dressing up वगैरह वो the ustads and the officers in the academy is what they teach you है ना and you have to be indebted for them because they are your gurus, they are your first gurus in the journey of being an officer. Absolutely. They are the ones who help you grow from a normal civilian to a cadet to that of an officer. And then the unit takes over. All the CEOs have a responsibility. They want to ensure that you do well in your careers. They want to see that you go on to do very well for yourself and the boys, and command in a way that that is acceptable, in a righteous way. So that's what they do. So it's very difficult to say that both have their own merits. I know it's very difficult. I would definitely love to meet all my ustads and to make them feel proud that whatever they've invested in us, it's worth it. And they continue to.
So what I feel is, I mean, the way I look at it is, कि जो ये उस्ताद है ना, they are more or less like your brothers, elder brothers type. They'll grill you also. आपको tough बनाएंगे. The way they say कि लोहा बनाना है, तो लोहा बनाएंगे आपकी body में, right? But they look after you. और जहाँ छोटी मोटी help हो सकती होगी ना, जहाँ भी they can tweak even the rules a bit, they'll do that ताकि उनका जो शिष्य है, right, वो best officer में बने, right? So they are more or less like elderly brothers. And CEOs, as it is, they are called the father of the battalion, right? Battalions. So they are the fatherly figures and they are elder brotherly figures. So obviously it is tough to choose, but then I just thought
it's very interesting thing. Again, look at ustads, those who make you those who help you to be an officer, banne tak, a day or two prior you're passing out, you can see the kind of gratification they have in them कि यार ये बच्चा जब आया था, कैसे था और आज देखो कैसे बन रहा है, and you can see that कि they finally जो होता है ना कि एक डरावना जो बना के रखते हैं, फाइनली इट्स ऑल मेलोड डाउन. बिल्कुल. एंड आप फिर आपको देखने को मिलता है कि द होल एफर्ट उनके पीछे ये कि वो हम अफसर बने और निकले, है ना, एंड गो इन कमांड. सो दैट इज व्हाट सो द इन्वेस्टमेंट इज वर्थ इट. एंड आई विल डेफिनेटली लव. वी हैड आवर alumni in the month of March, so we did call over few of our ustads, and it was such a pleasure meeting them. It was such a pleasure to go, and we all stood like cadets, and that's where the relationship was there. That's what it makes it so beautiful.
I think sir, even chief of the army staff or the CDS for that matter, अगर उनके सामने उनके उस्ताद आएंगे ना, they'll not behave like generals.
Absolutely, it's not
behave like GCs only.
Yeah, and how beautiful the relationship is that the ustad knows that आप officer हो, है ना? He gives you all the due of an officer. And still you treat him कि साहब आप तो हमारे उस्ताद हो, क्या साहब ठीक है साहब चलेगा, कुछ नहीं है साहब, अफसर बन गए तो क्या आप ही ने सिखाया हम लोगों को. That's why the whole relationship is, no?
Yes, sir. So these are certain beautiful relations that develop in the academy. One overstudy, understudy, then DS or GCG, and then the relation between the ustad and the disciple, I would say.
Absolutely. Every single thing, every single person wants to contribute to your life in such rich forms. Sir. तब हमको पता नहीं चलता कि 0 point भेज दिया हम लोगों को. आप वहाँ पे 500-600 पुशअप्स कर रहे हो, 200-300 रोल कर रहे हो, हॉन्चिंग कर रहे हो, बट कितने लोग सिर्फ उन पुशअप्स की वजह से पास कर जाते हैं फिजिकली,
सर
है ना? आप जाते हो, आप एक्सरसाइजेस में, वहां पे आपको ट्रेंच खोदना पड़ता है, आपको लगता है कि यार मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पीछे लाऊं,
सर
बट वहां पे इतना टैक्टिक्स सीख जाते हैं आप करते
सर
करते, है ना? इतना टफ हो जाते हैं मेंटली, फिजिकली, इमोशनली इतना टफ हो जाते हैं,
सर
आप रियलाइज नहीं कर जाते हो कि ओनली व्हेन लेटर पार्ट यू फील ओ आई डिड दिस, मैं
बिल्कुल
कैसा
सर
गोलू मोलू सा निकल के आया था, अब क्या बन के निकल रहा हूँ, मैं कमांडो बन गया, नो, इट कैन नॉट हैपन अदरवाइज।
सर एवरीथिंग दैट वी डू आउट देयर, ये चाहे जीरो पॉइंट है विच इज अ टेरर इन इटसेल्फ, जीरो
या
पॉइंट के नाम से जीसी घबराता है, राइट?
बिल्कुल
But
बिल्कुल,
all these small, small punishments or all these small, small forms of training, they carry a lot of meaning.
यस
एक there's a beautiful book जो कई बार आप और हम डिस्कस करते हैं कि what Howard does not teach, right?
यस
तो उस बुक में the way it's clearly mentioned कि there are certain things which can be taught to you in a structured fashion, but
करेक्ट,
कुछ चीजें हैं जो स्ट्रक्चर नहीं समझा सकता, you just have to
बिल्कुल,
learn them. तो
यस,
ये जो जीरो पॉइंट है, ये जो उस्ताद की पनिशमेंट्स हैं, वो दे आर द थिंग्स which you learn just by experiencing it. वो कोई
एब्सोल्युटली,
स्ट्रक्चर्ड तरीका आपको नहीं सिखा सकता, वो आप जब जीरो पॉइंट पे भेजते हैं और कैसे आप वहां से कट मारेंगे, राइट? हाउ यू लर्न द ट्रिक्स ऑफ द ट्रेड, कि
यस,
उस्ताद इतनी उसकी जिसकी बाज की टाइप आंखें हैं, राइट, हॉक आइज, उससे भी बच के आप निकलाते हो, छोटी छोटी पनिशमेंट से बच के निकलाते हो,
जी,
कैसे आप अशोका पथ पे उसके सामने से भाग के निकल जाते हो एंड ही इज
जी,
नॉट एबल टू कैच
एम्बुश
यू,
से निकल जाते हो आप,
एम्बुश से निकल जाते हो,
एम्बुश से निकल जाते हो आप,
they become life lessons because
एब्सोल्युटली,
लाइफ में आपको एक्चुअल में जब एम्बुश में जाना है तो these small little tricks can actually help you.
एब्सोल्युटली, सो माइनर टैक्टिक्स कितना सीखने को मिलता है हम लोगों को वहां पे,
Sir,
मेजर टैक्टिक्स वी माइट पॉसिबली कम फ्रॉम अ प्रेसी, आप जो पढ़ते हो आपको सिखाते हैं, है ना?
sir,
लेकिन माइनर टैक्टिक्स हम लोग वहां सीखते हैं ना, पीटी फील्ड में सीखते हैं, एंड जैसे आप बता रहे हो रोलिंग कर रहे हैं,
sir,
सो इट हेल्प्स यू ड्यूरिंग दोज फील्ड ड्रिल्स एंड ऑल,
sir,
तो सबकॉन्शियसली हो जाता है, हमको पता भी नहीं चलता है कि तब तो हमको लगता है कि ये क्यों रगड़े जा रहे हैं ऐसे,
बिल्कुल
लेकिन when it comes to real time action, ये हुआ है when you go to, when during my serving days I realized that that little rolling that जो कराते थे हम लोगों को non stop front roll जितना कराते हैं,
सर,
with a weapon you're rolling and taking positions,
बिल्कुल सर,
side rolls, how did you do it with a weapon, so everything goes on to add it, everything is so incremental in so many ways.
बिल्कुल सर. इनफैक्ट आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर राम बिलास साहब आते थे हमारे,
Mm-hmm.
so I just long for the time जब उनसे मिलने को मौका मिलेगा and say hugging him, that would be great moment. तो रामविला साहब, like सुरेश साहब, there are so many उस्ताद्स, उनकी
Right,
इज्जत शायद कहीं पेरेंट्स के बराबर है सर हमारे लिए.
absolutely, absolutely, I think priceless है वो,
It's
it is
priceless,
priceless,
exactly, sir.
priceless.
Sir, sir, the boxing,
Oh.
I mean, we've discussed so many serious things. बॉक्सिंग जो है अपने आप में वो एक टेरर इवेंट होता था, राइट?
जी जी जी
ऑल ऑफ अ सडन जिन बच्चों ने कभी लड़ाई झगड़ा नहीं किया,
जी
राइट, दे क्लियर्ड एसएसबी, अभी एकेडमी में आ गए और
जी
वहां पे अब बॉक्सिंग भी करनी पड़ेगी.
जी
तो डू यू हैव एनी एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ
Oh,
बॉक्सिंग, एकेडमी का एनी इंसिडेंट?
yeah, I think boxing. I have this very interesting story behind boxing. How I fared in this boxing.
सर,
So, वहाँ पे जो when you're given your colors and when you're given your opponent,
सर,
and your coach mates are your seconds also. They are the ones who help you out in preparing everything.
सर,
So it so happened कि मेरे जो opponent है, I didn't know who he was. I knew the name, but I didn't know the reputation what he carried.
सर,
So everyone came to me and told all the best, all the best, all the best. I was a stud in academy, well built, physically very strong, sports में अच्छा था मैं. But boxing में everyone coming and telling me all the best, all the best. Somewhere it was telling me कुछ तो हो रहा है. I don't know what is happening. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है.
सर,
Then there was another course mate of mine, and I went and asked him. He was from that company. I told यार भाई सुन ये सारे all the best क्यों बोले जा रहे हैं मेरे को,
सर,
है ना? Then he said तेरे को पता नहीं है? I told नहीं, what is it? तो बोलता यार वो national level boxer है.
सर,
Then I said oh my god, it gives you some sort of a feeling कि यार करूँगा क्या?
सर,
But what works is that यार your pride of your company is at stake, right?
सर,
Every single thing that you do is for the banner.
सर,
आपको banner uphold करना है.
सर,
Then we went in and as I said, like I was strong, so I knocked him twice. See, the first round I knocked him twice. He fell,
Sir.
and somehow the ustad don't count 10, and you
Sir.
wait for the ustad to count, and by the time he's on 6, 7, 8, it goes in slow mo.
Sir.
So ninth round is khada karke rubbles gloves and box again.
Sir.
So I did that. First round I won comprehensively. Second round, by the time we reached second round, he was slightly more conscious what to do.
Sir.
And although I hit him a couple of times and I couldn't take anymore, by then exhaustion ho chuka tha. You know, I put all my might behind it.
Sir.
All I could do was just cover myself, put my head down, and I took all the punches in my hand.
Sir.
जितना मारा उसने मारा, मैंने बोला जितना मारा मार लो. And it seemed like it was a decade for me.
Yes,
The time would not go, and I'm thinking, यार अब तो बंद करो, हो गया ना time. No, it went on like a decade.
Sir.
And then for the next 1 week, I could not write anything. Of course, I won the bout.
Oh, great,
and
sir.
I won the bout, and probably very few cadets, juniors, carried by the seniors on the shoulders, because like I was so popular that day. Yeah, he beat a national boxer.
Sir, it is not just the physical victory.
Yes.
Again, there are so many life lessons out there, because who's a champion? Who's a boxer? Who's a champion boxer? It's not somebody who wins. It's somebody who gets up one more time.
Absolutely.
Falls down, gets up one more time. Falls down, gets up one more time. And that's the spirit of army.
Absolutely.
You may be put down. You may come across situations where jahan pe, things are not going your way. But then you have to get up one more time, and that's the spirit.
Correct. How can you give up? How can you think of giving up? You may not have that kind of resources, right?
So,
but still, you're there for a purpose. You're there. You're on a mission there. For us, that every single bout that we won was adding to the company's tally.
Exactly.
You know, and it was adding to my character. It was adding to my resilience. That how much can I take? You know, how much grit you have in you. Ki that come what may. You know, every single time someone will come and say all the best, it will just put me in a space and say, why are they telling me? And finally, when you realize कि यार वो national level boxer रह चुका हो, and you know that okay, I don't have an option but to fight him, and you want to win, not just to fight, not just sustain, but you want to win also, comprehensively. So you have to put the complete might behind it. That's what army teaches. Should tomorrow an opportunity come where you're required to go to that extent, in spite of being knocked down, you will still come up. You will go. That's what it teaches. Exactly. You know, it teaches, you know, how do you fight? How do you fight a competition? How do you excel in a competition?
When you are totally against the odds.
Absolutely.
When you know that the opponent is tougher than you.
Yes, and it's also a mental game, right? It's not physical. This is where it comes from. It tells that I can beat him. You will be able to beat him. This is given up, then you can't do anything. You know, and that's where that is about grit. That's about determination.
Sir, you know why I asked this question? ये boxing वाला छेड़ा ही क्यों? Because I was the lucky one. अपने को boxing करनी ही नहीं पड़ी sir.
Oh my.
Why? Because fortunately or unfortunately, उस time पे maybe I missed out on certain important lessons of life. But then उस time sir hexagonal आ गया था.
Okay.
And teams from 6 academies were to meet in NDA, and we were part of football team. तो हमारी टीम उस टाइम गई हुई थी हेक्सागोनल खेलने, और पीछे से बॉक्सिंग हो गई. तो अपने पास कोई स्टोरी नहीं है सर बॉक्सिंग की. राइट. सो दैट आई मीन आई मिस दैट एगनी आई वुड से, वरना पता नहीं सर कितने घुसे पड़ने होते. राइट.
सो यू नो इट वाज ब्यूटीफुल एक्सपीरियंस. एंड नो जैसे मैंने बताया आपको कि पूरे एक हफ्ते के लिए आई कुडंट राइट एनीथिंग. आई वाज राइटिंग चाइनीज, यू नो, मैंडरिन, एवरीथिंग वुड गो एनीवेयर एल्स, नो सर. At a beautiful. And then of course your opponent is one of your best buddies today.
So first term sports, do you remember? हमारे time में sir first term में there was football, and there was basketball, right? And we won basketball. We were the champions. Kohimans were the champions, Killer Kohimans, right? We also won the cross country, so that was amazing. और उससे associated जो liberty थी sir, that was amazing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's something that is unforgettable types, because छोटी छोटी वो खुशियां जो मिलती थी सर लिबर्टी के थ्रू, कि अगर आपने क्रॉस कंट्री जीत ली है तो इनफैक्ट इट वाज टोल्ड इन एडवांस, इफ यू विन क्रॉस कंट्री देन यू आर द किंग ऑफ द एकेडमी फॉर नेक्स्ट 2 weeks. 2 हफ्ते आपको कोई सीनियर टच ही नहीं करेगा. and you can enjoy your life in first term, right?
So hard earned it is, so hard earned, कितना मेहनत लगाना पड़ता है, but then it is such sweet spots ना कि आप एक बार जीत जाओ उसके बाद you get those 2 weeks of liberty is luxury.
Exactly, sir.
And it's super luxury कि आपको कोई touch नहीं कर रहा है. I mean you are like the kings and emperors of the academy then.
सर वो भी है, and secondly you could enter the cafeteria, nooks बोलते थे उसको,
The
वहां पे
nook.
जाके you could have shakes also, वहां पे जाके you could have snacks also. That was I mean something we used to long for कि ये कब मिलेगा, ये seniors juice पीते रहते थे सर, mango shake, banana shake, and we used to see कि हमें कब मिलेगा, senior term कब आएगी. Now you win cross country and you have those liberties. Now that again is a systematic way of telling people, telling the cadets that to earn, let's say to enjoy certain rights, you have to go through the painful process. You have to earn everything. कुछ भी आपको आसानी से नहीं मिलेगा. तो छोटी छोटी चीजें कि अगर आपने फुटबॉल जीत लिया तो 1 हफ्ते की लिबर्टी मिलेगी, अगर क्रॉस कंट्री जीत लिया तो 2 हफ्ते की लिबर्टी मिलेगी, अगर क्रॉस कंट्री में आप फर्स्ट आए हो बाय अ बिग मार्जिन, देन यू कैन इवन गो टू दी बेकरी, राइट? अगर आपने ड्रिल कॉम क्वालिफाई कर लिया, राइट, व्हाट वाज दैट सर, उसमें वो डीएसटी, राइट, अगर डीएसटी आपने कर लिया तो आप संडे को बाहर जा सकते हो कैंपस से. नाउ these small liberties they have taught us so much कि हर चीज आपको अर्न करनी पड़ेगी. जिसने डीएसटी क्लियर नहीं किया वो स्टे इन द एकेडमी, नो संडे फॉर यू. इनफैक्ट जूनियर हो, लिबर्टी पे नहीं गए संडे तो पूरा टाइम यू विल बी रगड़ोफाइड, एकदम अच्छी तरह से आपको रगड़ा मिलेगा.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
So this privilege didn't come easy, no? आपको मेहनत करना था. You had to see when you speak of a DST, imagine you having a lanyard. I mean, you have the champion company lanyard right hand में लगा हुआ, and you're getting to salute. You know, it's so beautiful that you're getting to salute your DS. You know, without clearing a DST, you will not get to salute one. And then, of course, the cherry is that you're getting to go outside also. That one day after all your cleaning, you know, coat and all, आके पूरा साफ सफाई करके then you go. That not even one day, it's about 4 to 5 hours is what you get. But it's so beautiful. And as you said, like, you know, you do well in cross country or the sports. We had handball, and we had hockey in first term. So when you win, I got to enjoy my casata sitting in the ice cream parlor. Such a pleasure it was.
Best casata of life.
The best casata of life, and it still continues. That's what I eat the most now, you know, when it comes to ice cream. So it stuck on, yeah. It's very it's a hard earned, you know, priceless, what do you say, gifts, I would say, of life.
सर अभी एक ये अमाऊ हाजी मरे हैं, you must be knowing, dirtiest man in the world.
Yes.
Right sir, ईरान वाले dirtiest man who did not bathe for 60 years. 60 years उन्होंने कभी अपने ऊपर पानी नहीं डाला, right? That person died recently. I believe दुनिया को पता नहीं है ऐसे अमाऊ हाजी अकेडमी में बहुत सारे हैं सर.
Oh, बिल्कुल.
Right? DPR आपको याद है?
Oh my God.
You remember what is DPR?
Absolutely. Dirty Peter rig. How can someone forget a DPR?
Sir, you were not allowed to wash it for 6 months. पूरी junior term उसको धोना allowed ही नहीं था. We had to roll, we had to crawl, we had to side roll, cream roll, कीचड़ में roll, gutter में roll, जहाँ जाओ उसी को पहनना है, and you are not allowed to wash it.
Right from haunching to camel carries to, you know, around the barracks to front roll, back roll, star jumps, push-ups, sit-ups, and then your wet body. You remember that 1 minute मिलता था to wet yourself. Same clothes, you go wet yourself together and come outside and everything हो गया. Then again you go wet yourself and then pack it, and you have to save it also. That's a beauty. Exactly. You have to save it. And the next time when they call, it's already, मतलब वो पूरा cracks की तरह बन गया, all the dirt mud is falling out of it. And the dusting is still where it can go. Oh my God. I think one of the better uniforms that we had, DPR.
I lost mine, sir, and I feel bad about this. कि मैंने अपनी DPR नहीं बचाई. I think that would have been the best souvenir.
There's another interesting story in the DPR. So when you go for a DPR, you're not supposed to wear the issued kapde, na? You remember your vest and your white shorts, and your shoes and your socks होते हैं वो issued नहीं होता है.
वो अपने वाले होते हैं।
अपने वाले होते हैं।
Yes sir.
And it was sheer coincidence. So that was the time when we were all getting Reebok shoes,
Sir.
PT and for games also.
Sir.
My Reebok shoe for the PT was a similar one what I carried from civil.
Sir.
And I got special treatment. Why are you wearing this when we told you not to wear this one? And every single DPR I had to explain the senior कि sir ये मेरा not in Hindi.
मेरा issued वाला है, ये personal वाला है.
And for that also you get a hockey stick behind you. So you brother carried this one, your personal one. How can you carry the same one? And you know.
Sir, कभी stone shave हुई आपकी?
हाँ जी.
Stone shave करना पड़ा कभी आपको? Stone shave.
हाँ. I mean, it can be the Gillette, Mac 3 or Mac 4 today.
I think if Gillette listens to us, they should make a story on this.
Yes.
Stone shave, right? So it's better than Gillette. It's better than any kind of blade in the world.
And reverse shave, stone reverse. And reverse. Imagine you're taking and there's one little hair left, and you're holding and rubbing. Blood is coming out, but the ball wahi pada hui bhi. It is not coming out. Blood is come out of it. Sir. Oh, how can you forget that?
And you are praying hard कि ये बाल एक बार निकल
जाए और वो निकलता नहीं था वो. Oh yeah.
Again, but what amazing lesson of life.
Yes.
No sir.
Yes. How can you make you presentable, in a gathering, in a social setup, or you meet someone, sir, if you're not groomed well? Sir. I know it's a very different way of grooming. Sir. But that is the way it's drilled into you, right? Our reactions improved. When I say preparations for war, sir, that reactions are the most critical thing. One of the most critical things in a war. Sir. That that split second can mean something else. Sir. So they teach you.
Plus, there's nothing like excuse there. आपकी a few of them actually had very hard shave. बाल उनके hard आते थे. But then उसकी कोई सुनवाई नहीं है सर. Everything is an excuse. अगर आपका बाल दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, तो that means ये excuse है. It has to be taken off. आपका blade आपको close shave नहीं दे सकता. Find a stone and take it off. So it's a clear cut lesson that army doesn't look for excuses. Army means business. आपको task मिला है. You have to complete this. और उसके बाद amazing thing is, एक बार stone shave हो गई ना सर, फिर दुनिया का बिल्कुल ब्लंट ब्लेड भी आपकी वो शेव करता है कि मतलब इट्स द क्लीनेस्ट.
क्लीन शेव हो जाता है उसके बाद. एब्सोल्युटली. इमेजिन यू आर शेविंग ट्वाइस अ डे, सुबह एक बार, शाम को एक बार.
बिल्कुल सर. सर आई हैव सीन जीसीस 3-3 4-4 बार भी करते हैं सर, जिनकी हार्ड शेव होती थी.
इसके हार्ड शेव होती थी.
तो स्टोन शेव करने से तो बेटर है कि एक बार और वॉशरूम में 2 मिनट मिल जाए तो जल्दी से शेव करके आ जाओ.
बिल्कुल. हम तो ऐसे भी थे ना कि देयर आर टाइम्स व्हेन you're running from your room to that of bathroom, भाग रहे हो with the razor in hand, and dry shaves करते थे हम लोग रेजर लेके.
बिल्कुल सर.
कर के नॉन स्टॉप. you don't have a mirror, nothing. बस पता आपको चलाना, यहाँ चलाना, चला के निकाल दिया.
सर यही तो प्रॉब्लम है ना, जब फौजी फिर सिविल वर्ल्ड में आते हैं ना, वी आर ट्यून दैट वेज कि हमें एक्सक्यूज पसंद नहीं है, ना एक्सक्यूज देंगे ना एक्सक्यूज एक्सेप्ट करेंगे. बट सिविल वर्ल्ड में वो थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. फिर ये आदत जो है ना हमारी, ना एक्सक्यूज एक्सेप्ट करने की और ना एक्सक्यूज देने की, कई बार हमें मुश्किल में डाल देती है. वो
अडैप्टेबिलिटी की बात होगी ना वहाँ पे. तो फिर some things are like for us, it's a next nature हमारे लिए बहुत सारी चीजें. So it is very difficult for someone else to comprehend why are we like this.
Sir.
The whole world could be on one side, we are on the other side, and they might feel how ridiculous these guys are. कि आप ऐसे क्यों हो? They don't realize हम ऐसे क्यों हैं, हम ऐसा क्यों रहना चाहते हैं. That's a very difficult thing,
You remember first exercise, sir? Because
yes, I think first exercise was Pravesh.
Pravesh, exactly.
Camp Pravesh is what our first exercise was, and we had butterflies in the stomach, not knowing what will happen there. कहाँ जा रहे, कहाँ रहे. I'm not speaking of the present generation. At least they know where they're going and where they're not coming back. हमारा तो फिर ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. So we knew this 1 week ago going for an exercise called Camp Pravesh. And you had all the legendary tales कि वहाँ पे ये कराएंगे, वो कराएंगे, ये होगा आपके साथ, ये नहीं मिलेगा, वो नहीं होगा. And you're all going there.
तो legendary trails में एक तो ये था सर, वो खुदाई कराते थे.
Oh my God.
तो trench digging, and first thing I learned there was spit locking.
जी, spit locking, yes.
कि DS spit कर देगा और जहाँ पे वो spit गिरेगा, that area is earmarked, यहाँ पे आपको ट्रेंच
डिप्लॉयमेंट करोगे जी
right?
जी
It is still a mystery for me. Was it actually spit locking, or there was a different connotation to it? So I don't know. In case you know about this,
it is more about citing of your locations there,
sir,
how you cite your location, both in terms of an offense and defense.
sir,
Where your trenches are, आपके weapon systems का weapon कहाँ deploy करते हो,
sir,
right from everything. So that's how the actual logic is that.
sir,
But of course we have all our tales. But when you speak of trenches, we had two great experience trench के बारे में.
sir.
और मैं कहना चाहूँगा ये.
सर एक तो बदमाश बहुत होते हैं सर डीएस, because they were the
जी
young officers, उनको मजा आता था मजे लेने में जीसीस को. तो
बिल्कुल
they used to give us such a land जहाँ पे dig करना is next to impossible.
impossible, absolutely.
Sir,
Absolutely. और तो imagine इतने सालों में आप इतने सारे ट्रेंच बन चुके हैं. Why not do the same place? They deliberately find a place where you can't dig anything.
sir,
So वहाँ पे दो incidents हमारे दो खास incidents थे वहाँ पे, and it's a beautiful incident. The first one was like, we normally when the DS says that it has to be till your chest level, हम लोगों ने क्या किया? We just dug it by God's grace, I would say. It started raining also. It was slightly softer, maybe 1% would I say. We just dug इतना क्योंकि हमने घुटने में आके we stood like this in that अंधेरे में, so that the DS thought it's under it, and then DS what to say, okay, all get up, and he put the searchlight. So everyone standing यहाँ पे घुटने के ऊपर सारे ऊपर है body, and then the whole night we spent वहाँ पे रगड़े में. And then he gave another chance. Well, tomorrow morning coming again by 5, I want this to be dug up. And और मैं था Thambi, so myself and another coursemate of mine, we were Thambis. वहाँ पे जाके local से वहाँ पे बात करी, and we got a JCB, and we used a JCB to digger trenches. तो उसने इतने गहरे trenches ने खोद दी that when you go and stand, even your head is covered, you can't see. And unfortunately for us, since it was raining, and all the tire marks were left. And we couldn't clear this one. Then next day उसके बाद तो you can understand क्या हुआ होगा. हमारा तो भूत बना था उसके बाद.
I think sir trench खुदे ना खुदे, right sir, weapons की sighting हो ना हो, एक चीज पक्का होती है, वो है रगड़ा. वो चाहे ट्रेंच बने ना बने, whichever side you are, right, आपको रगड़ा तो मिलना ही है. Yes. And we had learned that. हमें ये तो समझ में आ गया था कि रगड़ा मिलना है, तो हमने सर इतना खोदा था बस. we could not even hide our tummies. वो पेट तक अंदर नहीं जा रहा था सर हमारा, right? But we knew कि रगड़ा तो खाना ही है, so it's better we sleep. हम तो सो गए थे सर.
And जो हमारे जो खुदाई के लिए हमारे पास जो shovels वगैरह मिलते थे, and 80% of the population doesn't know how to use them. And imagine आपको you are getting about 3 to 4 hours to trench बनाने के लिए and to deploy, and then बीच में stand to भी होता था.
हाँ, stand to means कि weapon लेके ready state
of ready हो जाओ, and you don't know who's coming, and most of them very like ghost. DS आ रहे, कोई और जा रहा है वहाँ पे, कि कुछ administrative सामान आ रहे, कुछ नहीं पता. stand to हो गया, वो सब खड़े हो वहाँ पे, कौन पीछे से आए कौन साइड से आए किसी को नहीं पता. So it's a great experience,
But again, what amazing lesson that tomorrow you are going to expect a lot of things from your troops. आपकी टीम से you'll expect कि वो रातों रात में जो है ट्रेंच बना दें और क्या बोलते हैं अपना डिफेंस को स्ट्रॉन्ग बना दें, right? तो you should have, as a leader, you should have realistic expectation. अगर आपसे खुद हो पाया है, then only you can expect कि आपके subordinates या आपकी टीम उसको कर पाएगी. Otherwise, what happens is those people who sit in the office, who sit in the air conditioned environment, they may feel कि ये तो कितना आसान काम है, just do it, right? But in case you've gone through that experience, then you know how hard it is. तो वो experience लेना is absolutely necessary.
Yeah, operations of war it is an action based, na? It is not a theoretical. When I say you have to be hands on. अगर आपको deployment के बारे में आपको नहीं पता है कि आप sighting कैसे करोगे, तो वो आप करोगे क्या फिर? When there is a real time operations, है ना? And when you speak of real time operation, can be deployed anywhere, any point in time, in the most inclement weather, the most harsh weather पे. But if you not done it hands on, you will not be able to deploy yourself. आपको पता ही नहीं चलेगा क्या करना है. And that is where the training comes to play. कि आप systematically कितना सिखाते हैं हमको. Of course, with a lot of ragada, but that's the beauty of learning it. What there's no pleasure if you do not get ragado, no? If you're not been tested.
So the biggest beauty is that whatever you expect from your team, you firstly go through it, right?
Absolutely,
और
absolutely.
similar culture carries on जब आप अंतिम पग लेते हो, you get commissioned,
बिल्कुल,
और जब आप यूनिट में जाते हो, तो officers are not straight away given officers mess. You have to stay with
absolutely.
the troops. You have to stay in
Yes,
the
yes,
lines.
yes.
You have to understand their culture. You have to understand their entire routine, right?
You
So
have to understand कि वो कहाँ से आते हैं, उनका ड्राइव क्या है.
बिल्कुल
You
सर.
know, what is it driving them, उनके उनके aspirations क्या life के. Why are they here to serve the nation? You
सर
know, what kind of family background they come, and why do they need this particular job here in the first place?
सर
What safety and security they come here for?
सर
जब तक आप खुद ही नहीं करोगे, you will not be able to understand that. आप comprehend ही नहीं कर पाओगे. It's beyond, as I said, no, it's what is not written in Harvard. It's in
सर.
that. No, so true.
And the last camp was, if I'm not wrong, Shatrujit sir.
Gee, there is a Shatrujit. Yes, the last one is
हाँ
the
सर.
senior term was. Oh, that is it's a culmination of what you become. No? That's the last camp. All that you learned in tactics,
सर
all that you learned in weapons, all that you learned in in terms of Adam and morale, everything
navigation,
comes to play.
navigation,
Navigation
sir.
in terms of you know so much of sharing and caring has to happen with you. Ki
बिल्कुल
everything is a crunch there, right from your food, आपको खाना पानी, everything is shared. Hard scales,
सर.
it's a hard scale कि आपको सिर्फ इतना ही मिलेगा, उसी में आप सब कुछ करोगे.
बिल्कुल सर.
And
सर
imagine,
एक तो मेस टिन होता है, उसी में
बिल्कुल,
दाल, उसी में सब्जी, उसी में
बिल्कुल,
रोटी, उसी में खीर. You have to mix everything and have it.
the most delicious food आपको कहाँ
Most
मिलेगा?
exactly sir.
The most delicious. I mean,
Sir,
अभी के बच्चे they can speak of, no, I need a tissue paper, or I need a hand sanitizer.
sir.
Everything was clean then. All the hands were dirty, but everything was still clean.
Exactly sir.
And same as in I'm sure you recall कि that little last दाना जो छूटता था,
Sir,
and the most delicious dana you would say.
absolutely sir. About it.
Yeah, so that is such a privilege. Imagine that messed with your last shoot, yeah, just picking it and then putting it in your mouth,
Sir,
and that little hot tea used to get, and
sir,
little small little snack jo aata tha,
sir,
and and we had to share with everyone.
sir.
Which place will teach you this? That there's so much to do in sharing and caring. That's when you
Absolutely.
can. I'll back you up and you back me up. वो brotherhood कहाँ से आएगा if we didn't do that? You
Yes.
know,
So,
and
so when we say one for all for one, I think
yeah,
the first step of this learning starts with training, starts with the
absolutely,
academy.
absolutely. Imagine that it's so strong, the buddy systems, your platoons going together, coming together, your companies going together, coming together, your battalions together.
So,
The deployments happening,
so,
and it's the same result that is given to everyone. There's nothing more, nothing less given. आपके जो रेडियो ऑपरेशंस के बारे में,
so,
that's another funny thing, no, आपको signals नहीं आते हैं, but you still have to give a signal. You have to indicate landmarks.
so.
आपको खुद ही नहीं पता कि where is your landmark, and आप बुरी गाय के पीछे घूम रहे हो, तो where is your बुरी गाय?
So,
you know, you
so,
know,
sir, you touched upon something which is
yeah,
like very
close to,
funny, right?
yeah,
So ये जो भूरी गाय वाला episode है ना sir,
हाँ जी,
we'll discuss this maybe next time, because I know that
sure,
if we continue like this, we can go on and on and
yeah,
on.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
never-ending tale, right?
absolutely,
So maybe we'll take it forward from here, and we'll have one more session wherein we can try and touch Bhuri Gai, right?
looking forward to revisiting the cadet days.
Yes, sir. And then the toughest challenge, that is the route march,
Route
right?
marches,
And then march and shoot. So many
marches,
things, right? Weapon
yes,
training, so many things that have happened, that happen in the training in the academy. So difficult to cover in one session.
absolutely,
So maybe we'll take it from here next time, and certain more serious issues, certain issues about the unit life, the camaraderie, the Chatwood Credo, how we live up to it, the difference between various academies, the difference between the civil cadres and the armed forces. We'll also talk about the changes that are happening in the armed forces now. We can see that army is going to go through a, I mean, large transformation. काफी कुछ आ रहा है, अग्निवीर आ रहे हैं, शॉर्ट सर्विस में काफी चेंजेस किए जा रहे हैं, एनडीए में गर्ल्स की एंट्री हो रही है, कॉम्बैट में गर्ल्स को लाया जा रहा है, विमेन ऑफिसर्स को लाया जा रहा है, फाइटर पायलट बन रहे हैं. सो there's so much to talk about, but we'll take a break here, and maybe next session we'll cover a bit more about the academy, and then we'll take the entire discussion to next platform, जहाँ पे हम officers की बात करेंगे, how they take decisions and changes in the armed forces. Fine, sir. Any last words for this session?
Thanks for this opportunity. It feels so fresh and so surreal revisiting your cadet days.
Sir.
Although it is more than 2 decades now, but it feels that I'm still in the academy doing all this thing what we spoke of. Thanks for this opportunity.
I just wish we could go back to the academy one more time.
Yeah, probably, yes. I would love to.
Yes, sir.
I'd love to.
Fine, sir. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Jai Hind, Sunil. Thank you.